All right, we are live. Football is back. NFL preseason reactions and/or takeaways so far. I'm excited, guys. I mean, this is the calm before the storm in a lot of ways. There's a lot of preseason football that's been played so far. Obviously, we had the Hall of Fame game last week between the Lions and Chargers. Colts Ravens played earlier this week. That was certainly a thing with Anthony Richardson and everything, and the Bengals and Eagles played, and that was a thing with the Bengals first team defense, kind of for lack of better word, and getting cooked by the Eagles. By the Eagles' second team offense, so that was that. The Raiders Seahawks, full transparency, being on the East Coast, the game starting at 10, not getting over till 1:15. I did not watch any of that game live, so I did go back and I specifically watched Jalen Milroe and Ashton Genty after the fact. And the thing is with all of the preseason games, with everything going on, especially as quickly as it does, there's only so much you can watch at one specific point in time. So there's with that specific game, I like to sort out the rookies and see the highly drafted players and see, okay, like, what are they doing. And I thought Jalen Milroe had a couple of good plays. There were definitely moments within Milroe's limited time where you definitely saw the not only lack of anticipation, but just the staring down and the just the things that made him fall to the late third round. But I thought for a developmental quarterback that there was a decent amount to take away. So how are we doing, everyone? How are we doing? Need your Colts solution right now. The Colts team preview is actually going to be coming out. It's actually going to be coming out in a couple days. It'll be coming out Tuesday. So tomorrow we have the Jags team preview. That'll be out 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. sharp, be there. And then Tuesday it'll be the Colts at noon. So everything's recorded for the Colts, and I actually have to re-record one thing. I'll do that tomorrow. But no, so everything's, anyway, to go back to the Colts, what their solution is. We'll kind of discuss that a lot more within that specific video, but I don't want to overreact too much and say, and I kind of discussed this within the video, but a little spoiler, I guess. But the Anthony Richardson thing, the play was obviously very frustrating, and I'm actually going to just go ahead and tweet out the link that we're live. But obviously that play was that he got injured on was frustrating because it was, kind of a lack of like, hey, it was a lack of, anticipation, if you will. Hey, we are, we're in year 3 and we are still not picking up the blitz on this side, and then not immediately checking the hot part of the route, and he was waiting for his guy on either a corner or an out route to get open, and obviously with a potential free rusher, the immediate thought should have been, hey, let's just take a quick glance to the right. Obviously it didn't happen, dislocated his finger, but to immediately say that AR is doomed because of that, I don't think would exactly be fair, but it's also rightful to be frustrated with AR, considering that specific play. And like I said, we break that down even more in the video that'll come out Tuesday. All right, elephant in the room is Shador Sanders. Break down Shador Sanders. Yeah, so I thought Shador played really well. I thought he played really well. The one touchdown pass, the first one, was a dime. That was a dropping a ball in a bucket. That was a great layered throw. You hear the quarterback terminology, and that was everything. I mean, he was moving out to the left, and then he placed the ball directly where it was a his guy or nobody ball, and I thought that was I thought it was a really good preseason debut. Now I don't want to read too much into the post game press conference where he said something to the effect of, I hope I didn't or like his dad Dion was tweeting all this stuff, and then Shador said something to the effect of, I disappointed you or something, and basically just being hard on himself. I don't want to read too much into it to the point where we're like, man, Shador has this absolute grind mindset. He's destined to be a future all-pro type thing. And then kind of do all the mental gymnastics with that specific one quote. But no, I thought Shador played really well. The second touchdown was a timing play, and he fit the ball in where he needed to. So I thought that was also a really good job by Shador within that specific play. And even on the other side, Bryce Young, there were multiple plays where he was conducting traffic. The one touchdown that he had was a beautiful play, and it was good to see Bryce Young at least in one preseason game. Obviously, no Myles Garrett. That's obviously going to significantly change things in terms of how the Panthers game plan. But it was good to see Bryce Young, pick up where he left off. So, like I said, just tweeting out football is back plus NFL preseason reactions so far. So let's read some other questions here. What's up, Garf? How are we doing? Garf, I obviously recognize you from last year. And what's cool is like the community that we're building is I see a lot of repeat commenters, which I appreciate, and I appreciate everyone being in here. So am I ready for Travis in 2 minutes? I am. I have the TV here on NFL Network, so we'll get a little live commentary here in the office. So we have, actually it's Jets Packers. I might actually just have to pull it up on the laptop and then kind of just go from there. We'll figure that part out in a second. But hello from Bay Area. Bengals defense thoughts. No, I mean, look, the Bengals defense did not look good. There's a lot to be rightfully concerned about if you are a Bengals fan, pertaining to that. So that was not good. I don't know if you are a Bengals fan, how you can sit here with any sort of confidence and just say like, hey, we're back, Houday, we're really a confident unit heading into the year. That's one thing that I am going to, kind of just emphasize, especially when it pertains to the Bengals team preview that'll come out in a couple of weeks. So there's a lot of concerns there. So I'm actually going to pull up the Jags Steelers game here on my laptop. Obviously, I can't show the actual gameplay for copyright purposes, but I do want to see Travis Hunter, and so we're going to casually narrate that while also discussing everything that's going on. So let's go ahead and just pull that baby up, and I hope we do get to see Travis. So we have a super chat here from Rich. Appreciate it. Rich says, what was worse, Raiders O-line or Raiders defense? So, Rich, I did talk about this at the beginning, and I want to be fully transparent here. That game started at 10. I'm on the East Coast. I'd be lying if I said I got up Friday morning, got up at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. and watched the whole thing with all of the team previews that still have to be done. So I glanced through the game. But the Raiders offensive line, I will say, was a little concerning. Obviously, when Ashton Jeanty was in there, the one play was obviously going to bring everything down because the linebacker shot right through, which credit to Ashton Jeanty, he made the guy miss that came down on a blitz, but he didn't have anywhere to go after that. So the offensive line was a bit concerning within that game, and then the defensive line is, kind of is what it is. Obviously, Christian Wilkins, the release is going to inevitably, I don't know how much he was going to play this year because of the Jones fracture, but I would say the offensive line was definitely a little concerning there. All right, let's keep it going here. Oh, Speedy, what's up? Another loyal. How we doing? Thoughts on Bengals defense? Like I said, definitely concerning so far. Ethan, how we doing? All right, let's see here. So I'm not sure why. Oh, these are okay. I was curious as to what like all of the crowns are, but I do see the crowns, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. There's actual like crowns within that. Danger Zone, what's up, man? How we doing? Member of the chat, or member of the channel rather. Sam Howell today, he played pretty well, by the way. I was pretty impressed with what we saw from Sam Howell, all things considered, and that was. I want to see if I can pull up the actual box score within. I should be able to pull up the box score. I should be able to do that, right? Game details. I'm pulling this up I'm on NFL.com for reference. I do not want to pull up any highlights because that is a big no-no. It is pretty cool though that they already have. It looks like they already have well, they don't have the coaches film out yet. Obviously that won't be out till tomorrow. But I know Donovan Jackson either got tripped on one play or just got beat. That was early in the game when JJ was still out there. But like I said, Sam Howell, I thought he played pretty well, all things considered. And like I said, I'm just going to pull up a different tab here. I'm going to just pull up Vikings-Texans preseason game. That way we can kind of discuss, because I know a lot of people do want to talk about, what just happened and everything, and rightfully so, by the way. So we're going to go ahead and pull this up, and want to go ahead and where are we? There we are. All right, so I'm going to go on the screen right here. There I am. And there we are. This is incredibly zoomed in, so give me a second for that. But let's keep it going here. What do we have? Tanner McKee, that is also. Tanner McKee, man, he's been playing well. He's been playing really well. Good for Tanner McKee. And like I said, a lot of credit where, oh, no, I didn't want to do that. There we go. That's a little better. But no, Tanner McKee's been playing really good. He's been playing really well. And you have to give, like I said, you have to give credit where it's due. So Sam Howell today, 11 of 13, 105 yards. I thought he was pretty decisive with the football in his hands. There were a couple of plays where he probably should have had a quicker trigger, but I thought he was fine. J.J. McCarthy, I want to read the exact wording that I had. Now, specifically for the Vikings, Xavier Scott, the backup running back today, he really impressed me. I am not a Ty Chandler fan. I think Ty Chandler is a very replaceable player. I'm not a fan. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's very decisive, and I also don't think he has the highest acceleration to be able to hit the holes when they're there. And I was really impressed with Xavier Scott with his combination of agility and power that we saw as a backup running back today. But for anybody wondering specifically about J.J. McCarthy, I tweeted J.J. looked okay against the Texans. Obviously, it's going to be a work in progress, and you don't want a playoff game in August. I also realized there's no Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, and it was against backups, but I think there's a lot positively to take away from McCarthy's game today. There were a couple of plays within JJ's short time that he was on the field where I thought JJ looked pretty good. I thought he had a really good decision to just on that 3rd and 4 to run the football. The one play to Addison where Donovan Jackson, again, somebody said that he got tripped or he got beat for the sake of that. The anticipation for JJ to hit Addison on that deep ball was really good. There were a couple of things that definitely need to be worked out regarding just ball placement and everything. JJ was definitely late on a couple of throws. The ball placement wasn't great. He's 22 years old. He's going to be the youngest starting quarterback. There's going to be people that watch this after the fact and say, hey, look, he's already coping because he's a Vikings fan. I don't know how that would kind of register as cope, more so just pointing out the facts that he is the youngest quarterback in the NFL. But there's definitely things that can be worked on. All right, let's see here. Let's see some of the other comments here. Let's go ahead and read this. Let's see here. Oh, Preeks, I saw something about is Ashton Jeanty a bust after one preseason game? Actually, yes, I'm glad you asked that. And I'm actually glad that you asked that like 100 times. Yes, Ashton Jeanty is a confirmed draft bust after one game. Like, he has no chance of succeeding. He's 100%. The Raiders wasted a draft pick. I don't know what Pete Carroll was thinking. He is a confirmed draft bust. So I'm glad that, yes, he's already done. Just don't even, if you've already drafted Ashton Jeanty in fantasy, your season's already over. So he's confirmed a draft bust already. So that's just glad we got that out of the way. All right. What's your thoughts about Dart and the Giants defensive line? Giants defensive line is absolutely phenomenal. Abdul Carter, it's really good to see the young guys play well early on. I really like seeing the young players just have confidence already. Abdul Carter, again, from what I saw, looked really good. There was some stat that somebody tweeted, and by the way, the Jags game is going on as we're doing this. So they had a couple of yard run on 2nd and 7 here. So I actually have it backed up on a couple of screens. I have 1st and 15 on one screen, and it's now like 3rd down on the other. But on the 1st down, BTJ, my guy, I have a BTJ jersey. I only have 2 non-Vikings jerseys in the entire NFL, so glad to see my guy BTJ already cooking. But anyway, to go back to Jackson Dart, the one touchdown was a chef's kiss. It was far hash, go ball, his guy's ball or nobody's ball, pressure in his face, phenomenal. If you're a Giants fan, eat that up. And by the way, where I stand on preseason, on preseason, early or young players, if you will, is, hey, if you are, you have a young quarterback, you have a young playmaker, whatever, right? And they do something good, get excited. I never want to be the guy. Travis Hunter, by the way, just caught a pass. I never want to be the guy that, Travis Hunter caught a ball. Guess what? He caught a 5-yard pass on 3rd and 7. Well, don't get excited. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. So, like I said, I'm happy for Giants fans right now. Giants fans should feel pretty excited. I mean, every quarterback now, obviously, I don't want to feel the Giants should feel excited about every quarterback, but they should at least be happy about Jackson Dart. But the Giants put up a lot of points today. So that was good to see for the Giants. But both of their first-round picks in Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart each, as far as I'm concerned, played really well. So Giants fans, like I said, they should be thrilled with everything that they have so far. And again, they won, and it's something positive to take away into the next week of the preseason. All right. Hey, Garrett, how bad was Genty in the game? Oh, I'm glad we actually just discussed. So we had somebody spam like 12 questions in a row if Ashton Genty was a bust, and we confirmed that he's a bust. Ashton Genty is already done. His career is, like I said, if you drafted him in fantasy, your season's over. So we already talked about Ashton Genty. He's, like I said, he's done. The Raiders wasted a pick, unfortunately. That's just how the cookie. There's a big hit. Brian Thomas Jr. It was a clean hit. It was a clean hit, but that was a really hard hit by, I don't know who that was. I don't know who 22 is on the Steelers. There's so many changes every offseason, and it could be a backup, but that was a good, clean hit. Loved that. That's a football play right there. I was on the dig route. Does anybody know, if anybody's watching this game, can anybody tell me who that was? Because I'm like 99% sure it's not Deshaun Elliott. And I don't have the volume on. But that was a big hit. Anyway. All right. Love the fade. Appreciate it. I'm glad you guys do notice and enjoy the cut. What did you think of Tanner McKee? So, hold on. We have 2nd and 10 for the Jags. There's a good ball by Trevor. First down, Jacksonville. We're now down to the Pittsburgh 39-yard line. All right, so like I said, appreciate the fade, or appreciate the comment on the haircut, my once-a-month cut. But Tanner McKee played well within his preseason action. And the thing is whenever you have, I know I just said about talking about getting excited for players. By the way, that Steeler, I'm pretty sure, was Juan Thornhill, for anybody that that is watching the Steelers-Jags game. But whenever you have a player like Tanner McKee, a backup quarterback, have a big game, especially against the Bengals' #1 defense, the way that it was, there were a lot of unreasonable Eagles takes that were, I'm not taking anything except a first-round pick and a starting corner in exchange for Tanner McKee, which was, I mean, that's just not realistic if the Eagles were looking to trade him. But Tanner McKee played well. He definitely played well. It wasn't Deshaun Elliott, Kenny. KP, sorry. TYFYS, Kenny. I'm not sure. All right, let's see here. Hey, man, I apologize for spamming. You're right. I was trolling about Genty. I just wanted to check if you read my comments. I'm sorry. But I wasn't trolling. Ashton Genty, he's a bust. It's already determined. It's August 9th, and he's determined. He's a bust. Let's see here. There's a good play by the Jags. A little screen play. That's a first down to the Steelers 27. That's the one thing about the Jags. Oh, a little spoiler, by the way, because we have the Jags preview coming out tomorrow, so we're going to really hammer home just how much the Liam Cohen offense is going to play into Duval this year. And one thing that I'm really excited about is the use of Travis Etienne in the receiving game and Tank Bigsby and Bajal Tutin, who I love very much. Loved him a lot as a draft prospect. And I actually did an underrated draft prospect video prior to the combine, and Bajal Tutin was one of the 4 prospects in the video. So I really love Bajal Tutin and hope that there's another screenplay. There's Travis Hunter. Oh, dude, it's actually different seeing a guy move with the football in his hands. Like, I don't know how else to say this, so this is a live reaction here. But seeing a player actually move with the football in the NFL versus him at Colorado playing against Nevada and him playing against North Dakota State and everybody else they played last year. I don't want to overreact, but you can tell that Travis Hunter is going to be different as long as he stays healthy. So I absolutely that was a fun play, even though it was only like a 4-yard gain. All right. Speedy, appreciate the super chat as always. Appreciate it. Abdul Carter, 3 pressures, 3 pass rushing snaps, 2 of them on 2-time Pro Bowler Deion Dawkins. You already know. I added the you already know. That was not in the super chat, but I mean, look, Abdul Carter. I am a Penn State fan. And I've watched Abdul Carter, for multiple years, and I had him as my #1 player in the class. Travis Hunter is 2. I had him, neck and neck. I had him, 1 and 2 right there. It wasn't that there was a big gap. You could have convinced me that Travis Hunter was the #1 player in the class. But Abdul Carter to me is very similar to a young, just Micah Parsons as a pass rusher. Now, I don't think they're going to use Abdul Carter in the sense or in the way that the Cowboys used Micah in his rookie season, where they kind of had him everywhere. I mean, hold on, we have a play here. We have a little fade. Good connection. That was a good pluck out of the air. Good pluck out of the air by the Jags receiver there. So it was a good play. Good gain of a couple of yards. But no, I'm all in on Abdul Carter. Somebody asked earlier, and I apologize to whoever this was, but somebody asked about DROY. It's a pass rushing award. I mean, that's the way that it is. That's, you get 9 sacks, 10 sacks, you're probably going to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year unless you have a Sauce Gardner type rookie season or, 5, 6 interceptions. You're probably going to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So Abdul Carter, especially with the situation he's in, will be my favorite to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Trevor stepping up. Trevor picks up 3 yards on 2nd and 15. We now have 3rd and 12. But Abdul Carter would be my favorite to win the DROI. James Pierce for Atlanta would be another solid pick. And Donovan Ezeraku is a sleeper to win. But, all right. Charlotte, what's up? How we doing? I could totally see a Hurts-McKee quarterback controversy if Hurts doesn't play all pro level this year because of the birds. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be a controversy personally. But I will say that if Jalen Hurts has a bad game, or 2 in a row, that people are going to say, man, especially with how the Eagles fans are. I mean, they want results, and I get it. 3rd and 12, Travis Hunter. Even that was a fun play. It was only a 5 or 6 yard play, but he spun around, put his hand in the dirt, tried to make something happen, but the Jags now have 4th and 6. So anyway, definitely not a quarterback controversy, but I could see Birds fans getting frustrated the way that they do. And remember, there was a point last year where Nick Sirianni was on the hot seat from Birds fans, so you never know. Let's see here. I can't believe that Lawrence threw that pass to Thomas. He must be trying to kill him. Just give it some time. I hope that Liam Cohen has everything, under control, if you will. I'm excited for this. I really am excited for the Jags offense, because if everything works out the way that they can, this will be a fun team to watch this year. All right. Watching from London. Love your content. Appreciate it, Finlay. It's probably past midnight there, so that's really humbling. Appreciate it. Thoughts on the Seahawks rookies against the Raiders? So, I thought Jalen played fine. I mean, I thought, all things considered, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if Eamon Warry played off the top of my head. I don't know. Like I said, there's, you kind of skim through. I'd be lying if I said I am watching, if I got up today at 6 a.m. to skim through every rookie's snaps and go through all of that. But I did watch Gray Zabel as well, and I thought he was fine within the game. So thought Zabel, and I also thought Jalen Milroe were fine for what should be expected out of them. All right, let's see here. There was a comment that I wanted to. What's up, AK? How we doing? Now, by the way, if you are watching this after the fact, because I've had this brought up multiple times, this user's name is my ex-wife. My ex-wife is a username of a member of the channel, and there was a couple of streams ago that I commented about my ex-wife and then proceeded to say whatever that this user said, my ex-wife, that I was getting a lot of comments of, damn, he looks young. I didn't know he was old enough to have an ex-wife. So that is a user's name, just a little preface there. So if I do say my ex-wife, that's just a preface. So just wanted to kind of point that out. All right, Danger Zone, what's up? What's up, JG? How we doing? Let's see here. Buckeye, I think Hampton will be great. Oh, I do too. No, I feel so bad for Chargers fans with Rashawn Slater. That's awful. There's no other way to say that other than that is awful with him rupturing his patellar tendon, because, when you sit back and think about it, you have to think that this is a 26-year-old lineman. He's in his 5th year now, and how is that going to affect the rest of his career? It's not, I don't want to act like I'm a doctor, because I'm not, but I would imagine that, breaking a bone is a lot simpler, especially if you clean break it, because it's, hey, let's just, put the broken arm back in place or whatever the case may be, right? But with the patellar tendon, you have to worry. I feel like you have to worry about the leg strength and redeveloping the leg strength, because it's just a whole thing, man. So I feel really bad just in general regarding that whole situation. All right. Don't let her come for that football analysis money, my boy. That's funny. Oh, no, my chair fell. I'm getting a new chair soon, which I cannot wait for. All right, let's see here. My Skins 4th stringers got whooped. I'm actually from the DMV area, so there is a lot of people that do refer to the Commanders as the name. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble if I say the old name, so the old Commander's old name. We'll just leave it at that. But also a type of potato, a redskin potato. So we'll just leave it there. There we go. All right. In your opinion, which 25 running back will have the best season? I'm all in on Bijan Robinson this year. Bijan is how you pronounce his name per Bijan himself. So that's a big thing there. Let's see here. What is this? I don't know. So there's a crown getting in the way of your username, but I do appreciate the super chat here. This is from somebody. I can't read the username. There we go. This is one unique username, we'll say. God's butt monkey. Again, that's the username. Finally caught you live. Appreciate it. Anyway, why can't us few but proud Chargers fans have nice things? And then at least it's now, so we were actually just talking about that, but at least it's now instead of week 12 or something. So I am a big Justin Herbert fan, and within that, I feel that, I've watched a lot of Chargers games because I think Justin Herbert is incredibly underappreciated in general. So I don't want to say like I'm a, secret Chargers fan, but I do watch the Chargers a lot more intently than I did when Phillip was there. I just like Justin Herbert a lot more than I like Phillip as a fan, as an NFL fan. But no, it is frustrating. That's all. That's what do you say? At least Joe Alt should be a good option at left tackle. And Trey Pipkins definitely has his questions for sure. Mason Rudolph, there's a big passing play. There's a flag on the play. Now, my laptop is a little behind the actual. Is that to Roman Wilson? My laptop's behind us, so if you were watching the Steelers game, we actually are a little behind now. Let's see. How do you feel about the Niners defense after a bunch of rookies starting? Let me check one thing regarding that. I'm asking a very dumb question here, but I mean, if they... Hold on here. So the thing is with the 49ers, I think you're just asking in general. I was going to say, because the 49ers preseason haven't played yet. I was like, I didn't miss an entire game, did I? I mean, I've been keeping track of everything of what's going on. I was like, I know the 49ers haven't played yet. Anyway, with the 49ers, with their rookies, I hope that they can significantly upgrade the run defense from where it was a year ago, which is going to be the biggest thing. And it may be a work in progress, but I like where they're going to be towards the end of the year. And they're going to be a very, very fun team to keep track of. But that's definitely something to keep an eye on early in the year for sure. All right. Let's see. Surprised to see Trey Lance play well. Let's see. Do I dabble in the NBA much? No, I don't, because I try to keep up with football as much as I can. And it's definitely hard to keep track of two leagues, like at least at a high level. So I don't pay attention to the NBA that much. Now I generally know what's going on, but nowhere close. All right, let's see here. Appreciate the super chat. Hurts to be an Eagles fan. Appreciate you being a member as well. Thoughts on Jihad Campbell / Keely Ringo. So I'll be honest, I was not a Keely Ringo fan in the draft process, and I'm still not a Keely Ringo fan. I just don't think I'm just lower on him. Sorry, not a fan. I'm just lower on him than where other people are. So Jihad Campbell, I like a lot. He dropped an interception the other night. That was a play that I thought he was going to have, but he'll be fine. With Keely Ringo, though, I don't think he is that good. I mean, I don't think he is that sticky in coverage. I don't think he clicks and closes to the level that you would like. And I mean, I think the difference, I mean, obviously Quignon's a terrific player, but there's such a difference when you watch a good corner like Quinyon Mitchell and then watch somebody like Keely Ringo. I don't think Keely Ringo is that good of a player. I think he's a okay depth corner, but Jihad Campbell's going to be awesome, and I absolutely love him. Do I love college football? I mean, I would say yes, but I mean, I'm not the college football fan that, hey, whenever the streak of football is that starts in like November with Maction, I do like the Tuesday night Maction. But whenever it's like November 1st through like December, like through Christmas, I typically will skip some Wednesday or Friday college games. I'm not that into the college football that much, unless there's like a prospect or two where that I should watch. All right. Let's see here. CFB is amazing, 100%. Let's see here. But again, like I said, I love it, but I'm not watching every single night. Like, I'm not going to make it a priority TV watch on a Friday night to sit down and watch, North Carolina A&T against Appalachian State, if that makes sense. But we'll say that. All right. Let's see here. I'm excited for CFB, myself as well. myself as well. We have a passing play here, 2nd and 19 in the Steelers game. The thing is Mason Rudolph is playing. So I don't know how many starters we have here for Pittsburgh within this game. Caleb Johnson is in the game, so I would like to see Caleb. Let's see here. I personally have the Broncos ceiling at 13-4, floor at 10-7. After looking at your schedule, is that too generous? Division's going to be very tough. The floor at 10-7 is high. I'd say, 8-9, 9-8 floor. I mean, they're still going to be a very, very difficult team to beat. But I mean, the reality is any game can go any way. There's Caleb Johnson, 3rd and 4. Caleb Johnson inches his way to the first down. He's going to be phenomenal, by the way. So what we have so far is Ashton Genty bust, Caleb Johnson star. That's the biggest takeaway so far. That's where we stand on that. I do love Caleb Johnson, by the way. And in real talk, I love Ashton Genty too. This running back class is fun. Ashton, Omarion, Caleb Johnson, Bajal Tootin. I'm just naming specific guys, so you don't think I skipped your favorite team's running back or whatever. No, this is a very fun running back class. Please say go Gamecocks. How about Cox by 90? Go USC. I know the Columbia, the Cola area gets really uptight about the University of Southern California. Let's see here. T Lightning, Caleb Johnson is going to be the next mid-round gem, and then mentions Jonathan Taylor. No, Caleb Johnson's going to be so good. He's going to be so good. Random, give me your CFP championship prediction. So, I mean, Penn State brought everybody back, but I really worry about James Franklin. I do not like big game James. I'm a Penn State fan. James Franklin, just very frustrating. I'll just leave it. Oh, there's a big play. Darnell Washington touchdown. Darnell Washington, it took 3 years, but we saw him finally high point of football. I actually have to tweet that out. It took 3 years, but we have finally seen Darnell Washington high point of football. High point a red zone target. There we go. So anyway, to go back to this. I don't trust James Franklin in big games, and I don't know why you would at this point. Now, I know they have Drew Aller, Nick Singleton, and Katron Allen, and everybody else that they brought back, and Dennis Sutton, and everybody else. But if I had to go CFP prediction, look, I'm all in on Arch. I like Arch Manning a lot. And I think Texas, LSU, Penn State, Ohio State. Apologies if I'm forgetting anybody, like off the top of my head. Clemson, of course, duh. Clemson's a big one. Clemson, Oregon, those 6. But all right, let's see here. I feel like Arthur Smith is going to ruin Caleb Johnson. I hope not. We might have Arthur run the 0-4 formation. You've heard of 12 personnel, 13 personnel. How about the 4 personnel, the 0-4 personnel? 4 tight ends on the field. I would love to see that type of creativity from Arthur. But that was a great touchdown by Darnell Washington, by the way. Do I believe in the Travion Henderson hype? Yes, that was another running back I forgot. I knew I was going to forget another running. I knew that. That's why whenever people ask for rankings off, off rip, if you will, like, hey, what's your top? I generally stay away because I know there's always somebody I'm forgetting. And unfortunately, I forgot Travion Henderson. Yes, I do like Travion quite a bit. That was kind of why I didn't. Yes, no, Travion's really good. He's really good. Let's see here. Brosmer looked pretty good today. I mean, for the competition that he was playing, yes. Brosmer looked fine. Let's see here. How am I feeling about Jackson Dart? Like I said, Giants fans should be feeling pretty good right now. It's a Saturday, it's a summer Saturday night. Your first round quarterback looked good. Your number 3 overall pick pass rusher looked good. Yeah, I mean, not that wins really mean that much in the preseason, but yep, technically you've also won. Should be a good day. Should be a really good day for Giants fans. So, does Riley or Leonard have a chance at our starting job? I'll just say never say never. Never say never. How do I feel about Josh Simmons? There's a lot of rookies that I like. Josh Simmons is another. I love Josh Simmons. Josh Simmons, I will stand by this take that if Josh Simmons does not get hurt, he gets drafted where Will Campbell gets drafted. I think he was on pace to be a top 5 talent. Knee injury was the only thing that held him back. Josh Simmons reminds me so much of Christian Darrisaw. And he also reminds me of, I mean, if you go for like I've said this before, But if you kind of go for like a Pokemon reference and evolution, it's kind of like Josh Simmons, Christian Darrisaw, Trent Williams. It's just those tackles are all in the same. They're all in the same boat. They have very similar playing styles. I love Josh Simmons, man. I love Josh Simmons. So, all right. Let's see here. Let's keep it rolling here. Cribbed a kick return on his first touch. He did, and it was a hell of a play. The Jags are going back out on offense, so I'm eager to see what if Liam Cohen's giving them another drive. I would really like to see Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, he was fun in that first drive. All right. How do I feel about Joey Connerly? I'm assuming that's Josh Connerly. I like Josh Connerly. He was a first-round tackle. I think he'll get his strength up over the course of time. He'll be a good player. So I do like Josh Connerly a lot with the Washington Commanders. And I'm really hoping that we get to see a second drive with Trevor, BTJ, and of course, Trevor. I was making sure I said Trevor, not Travis. So Trevor, BTJ, and Travis Hunter. I'm hoping we get one more drive of that. We are 3 minutes left in the first quarter in Duval at Everbank Field. Aaron Rodgers will prove the doubters wrong. Sammy, what's up? Sammy is an OG longtime supporter. Just an absolute beast. All right, let's see here. All right, Tyler, I'm going to botch that pronunciation. Tyler Chavari, he was a beast at Mount Union. Mount Union's a big D3 powerhouse, by the way. Reminds me so much of Danny Woodhead. He was in Bucks camp. If so, hope he plays tonight. I hope you're right. Let's see who we have. We don't have Trevor out here. I think it's Nick Mullins time, guys. I think it is Nick Mullins time. It is indeed Nick Mullins time. So unfortunately, we only got one series with Trevor, BTJ, and Travis. It is now Nick Mullins time. Nick Mullins, if anything, will make the game exciting. I'll definitely be watching this for Bajal Tootin later, but we'll see. All right. I heard Dylan Gabriel is the shortest quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he's definitely up there. Bryce, Dylan Gabriel. Baker clears them by quite a bit. Kyler Murray is also in that conversation. All right. Let's see. The Giants will do better than the Cowboys this year. Hot take. I don't think so, personally. I worry about the Giants quarterback play. I think the Cowboys still have a pretty high floor with a healthy Dak. Limited ceiling because the rest of the team is not very good. In some aspects, that is, of course. But I don't think so. All right. Do you think Derek Harmon is going to be the next game-wrecking defensive lineman? I don't think game-wrecking. I mean, I think he'll be a solid player. But he'll be a... Oh, I got to sneeze. I think he'll be a 40 to 45 pressure player, 5 to 7 sacks. The thing with Harmon for me was what was frustrating was there were plays where he looked like he could be the next game-wrecking lineman, right? And then there were also plays where, I don't want to say he took plays off, but there were plays where it just didn't look, I mean, it looked bad. It wasn't, it looked bad. And I texted with another big NFL YouTuber that you guys know, and I was just like, I don't want to put his words out there and not like talk about what he said in 7 months ago. But you guys know this individual. And I was just kind of like, hey, man, how do you feel? Here's how I feel. And he was more or less, dude, I completely get it. And I can understand why you feel that way. And I was kind of out on Derek Harmon, at least like for what he is as, when people were saying top 15, top 20 with Derek Harmon, I was not the biggest fan. So there's a lot of just Jekyll and Hyde with Derek Harmon's game. So if Derek Harmon becomes that player, it's going to be, I mean, he's going to have to be more consistent at the NFL level, which is obviously a higher level of competition, in which he was not the most consistent at Oregon. So definitely something to be wary of. Thoughts on Jalen Milroe? Definitely a developmental quarterback. I think people get a little, crazy with the term developmental quarterback the same way they get crazy with the term generational player. I think anytime that a team takes a quarterback in the 5th round, it's a developmental quarterback, and sometimes you just need a backup quarterback. You don't need to develop the said player. But Jalen Milroe was in a good situation to develop. So I actually do like this. Who are some of my sleeper teams this year? Let's see here. Denver, for sure. Carolina. Denver, Carolina. I mean, I would have said the Chargers a couple days ago, but Rashawn Slater's going to be a big loss, man. So Denver and Carolina would be 2. I think you could also toss Atlanta in there. The NFC South's going to be a fun division to watch. I'll say that. And let's go for one more. Am I forgetting somebody obvious? I mean, I would like to say Minnesota, but I feel like that's a little too homer. I'll say Denver, New England, Carolina, and Atlanta. I'll say that. But that is going to wrap up tonight's stream, guys. I just wanted to talk ball. Football is back. NFL preseason takeaways. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And we will be live a lot more as the season gets closer and closer. So appreciate everyone being in here. And Tampa's, by the way, definitely a sleeper. Tampa's such a complete team. I just think they're too good to be considered a sleeper. They're so good. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, we will be live a lot more as the season gets here. We will be live week 1, Monday night. JJ McCarthy, Caleb Williams. That'll be awesome. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And hopefully you guys have a great Saturday night. We'll have a video tomorrow at 10 a.m. Jags preview, Duval. So until then, please be safe. Have a great night. Love you guys. And in honor of the Jags team preview tomorrow,